Okay, here's the last one for today. This is a Kenpro setup. It's got the wire terminals on it, both the azimuth and the elevation. G-5400. Yeah, these just testing purposes here. You would wrap your wires around those, but my buddy down in Florida, World Radio Needle Bender 693, built me these nice little covers. See, that'll go over it. And it says EL, elevation. And then this is the one for the azimuth. It says AZ. And it will go over that. And then your wires will come through the bottom. Put a grommet on there. It's the same way on the elevation. It's got a hole in it you can run your cables up through. Now I would suggest anytime you use these combo rotators that you take a P-clamp and clamp the cable down, because this thing is, well, it goes a long ways. I mean, so right now we're setting it north on the azimuth and 90 degrees on the elevation. So I'll turn it clockwise and you'll see just how far this cable goes. I mean, that's only 90 degrees right there. So you'd have to have your cable pretty loose or it's going to get wound up. Because it'll be, you know, completely on the other side of that other connector. And then we'll go back the other way. Let's see, it's now these rotators are AC voltage. And I gotta look at my cheat sheet here. I'll keep going though. The elevation, the top rotator has the run cap inside the rotator, and the azimuth rotator has the motor run capacitor inside the controller. So you'll see it'll go all the way around, and it'll tug on the cable from the other way. This is just testing purposes. So let's take this back to north. What's nice about this is you can take this cover off and you can put the terminal board over here and then put that cover over there. You have to unsolder your wires, of course, but pretty neat little deal. No, I don't think that would work. I don't think your wires would reach on the other side. Scratch that idea. Okay, we're back up to north. And now we're going to turn this thing so it goes up. You can see it's rotating. Let's turn it just a little bit so you can see it. I didn't put my little deal in it this time with the screw and the PCV. Let's go a little bit further. It'll go until that mark lines up with that mark. And then if you had this set up on your beam, you could actually put your mast pipe through there. And you could actually have it so that it'll turn your beam from horizontal to vertical. But they're made more for catching satellites and International Space Station, where you got to adjust your elevation and point it higher in the horizon See, it's coming up on that mark right there. Okay, and see, we're pointing at 90. And you keep on going, and it will eventually, that mark there will line up with that mark there. Do 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 do. And see, we're setting at 0 now. But I'd like to rig up a way that a guy could take an old Alliance rotator like a U100 and mount it on top of a high gain rotator, so you could move your beam from horizontal to vertical, and then have that U100 rotator just sideways. And this one again has the individual wires, so I had to make up another harness rather than the connector like on the other one. And my handwriting's a little messed up, but that says elevation rotator end, and this says azimuth rotator end. And then all the wires hook up to the back. They're all numbered. And of course, it's elevation and azimuth. There's only 6 wires that hook up to it, but there's 8 on the terminal board, so you don't use 7 and 8. But this is a rotator I got from Hamfest out here in Colorado, and I just got this bracket shipped in with my Yahoo parts order, so I decided to put it on there. And they sell a stud kit. Actually goes in here. These studs go in here. Then you take the same clamp and you can clamp on it. And I'll pause this for a second. Yeah, here's the studs. They're still wrapped up. I just got these yesterday. You can still get these studs through DX Engineering. Then you can get the clamps, but they'll go right here. And you could mount this up on your mast pipe if you wanted to. You can get the studs and you can get the clamps, and just mount that onto your mast pipe if you don't want to bolt it to your rotator. So anyway, this is one I'll hang on to until I get, well, for testing purposes. I had marked that earlier. See, there's the center point. I'll hang on to this one. And this control box I got at a Hamfest as well. So some more stuff. If you're going to work on them, you need a rotator to test the controller and a controller to test the rotator, and you got to make up harnesses. So a lot of work to do in this one. Anyway, another little job by Rotors by Scott. I don't know if that will focus. There we go. Okay. 73.